Hey there, thanks for tuning in to another video here on my channel. As you've seen from past unboxing videos and collection videos and haul videos, I love VHS tapes, I love retro things from the 80s and 90s, and I have a buddy who happens to run a whole channel called the Retro Network. Yes, Jason Gross along with Mickey Yarber, they are running TRN, the Retro Network. So much great programming there. I have several podcasts that I produce and put together and host over there. But I also have a special show called Thrift Store Horde, where myself, a guy named Kevin Hellions, and Jason, we all get together once a month and we share our thrift store finds, everything that has made its way home with us, and we get very excited. Well, in the process, when we're out and about, a lot of times we're collecting stuff for each other. We're like, oh, I know you're into this, I know you're into that, and then we share it back and forth. So I just got a huge box from Jason. I'm very excited to show you what's inside here. A lot of it I've forgotten about. This has been building up for a couple months. Let me pull the bubble wrap away and we'll see what we have, okay? Okay, so first things first. The Sound of Music, okay? This is a double box CBS Fox set, okay? And this is one that I had not picked up myself for quite a while. And so Jason said, hey, I found it. Actually, it's got a security tab repasted on there. It's been kind of taped together here. So anyway, I said, yeah, send it over because I have several of these double tape sets. But in the meantime, I forgot Jason was sending that. And so, where did I put it here? I managed to pick up one myself. So now I have two copies of The Sound of Music. Well, you know, you mix and match, you kind of create a Frankenstein of the best versions. So what tape is better, what cover is looking better. So there's that. In addition to the CBS Fox boxes, which I just love so much, the other is these RCA Columbia, red border boxes. I just love these so much. Now, do I care about a soldier's story? Not really. Have I ever heard of it? Who's in this? Howard E. Rollins Jr. I have no idea who that is, but this box design will get me every time. So I just love it. I'm excited. Jason keeps an eye out for the CBS Fox and the RCA Columbia boxes. I get very, very excited whenever he mentions them. But this is another one. I have a collection of Disney afternoon tapes that I've been able to find over the years, and here is a new one, Darkwing Duck. Okay, so that's super fun, right? This is one of his favorite adventures. I actually had another one that I did as a giveaway for an old podcast of mine called the Two Goofs podcast. If you're a Disney fan, if you love going to the Disney parks, I used to be a costume character, so my best friend and I, we worked there in costume. We did a whole 11-part series about our experiences, which you can find links to on the Retro Network feed, or you can just go to YouTube and find the Two Goofs podcast. So if anybody's interested. Sticking with animation, though, this one was pretty special. Who remembers Foo-Fur? Now, I remember Kissy Fur. I remember, there were all these fur-based cartoons in the 80s. This is one that is pretty funny. It gets covered a lot on kind of the retro cartoon based podcasts. Yes, there are more than one. But this is cool. I love this. Okay, so this Just for Kids features. They really did some really obscure titles and really interesting box designs. I always like those. All right, here we go here. DEFCON 4. Just look at how intense that is, right? The best part, though, is this is a New World Pictures release. If you don't know that, that's Roger Corman, who's done so many great films over the years. Great, right? But this one just seems so intense. I read about it in a Starlog magazine, so I've always wanted to see it. So I'm excited to get that here in the collection. Here's another CBS Fox, The Maltese Falcon. Now, this is a classic. Seen Casablanca a bunch of times, never seen The Maltese Falcon. But, of course, now it's a CBS Fox tape. I gotta have it, so I'm excited. Thank you, Jason, for that. A classic and in my preferred style. Another one here is Big. Okay, now this is one I already had as well, but it looked like Jason's box might be in a little better shape. And mainly he was sending it to me because it had this special proof of purchase piece here, the creme de la creme, and it was kind of a little insert to tell you what was being released at the time with the tape. So that's always fun to get those extra inserts, gives you a piece of history, get you an idea of what they were promoting at the time. Another CBS Fox tape. I totally forgot about this, okay? This is called Prime Cuts, Red Hots, right? So this is actually a music tape. So you got Wham, you got REO Speedwagon. This is kind of blocking everything here. Oh, I can read it on the back. What am I doing? John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band. I remember that as a joke of Jimmy Fallon imitating French Stewart from Third Rock from the Sun on Celebrity Jeopardy on SNL, you know, where they had Sean Connery, Daryl Hammond, and of course Alex Trebek is played by Will Ferrell. And he's like, the answer, Alec, is John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band. Anyway, cracked me up. This is great though. Survivor is on that tape. They did a lot of music video tapes, which is fun. All right, what else do we have here? Ooh, Cat's Eye. Oh yes, look at that. This is beautiful. Perfect for Halloween time, a young Drew Barrymore. But again, these key video, it's sometimes it's just the box. Just look at that rainbow design, like just knowing these houses that released such interesting titles back in the day and made themselves stand out. Okay, we got a few more videos here before we wrap it up. This was a big one for me. Bruno the Kid. Do you guys remember in the 90s, there was this whole rash of like comedians and actors getting their own cartoon series? You had Little Rosie, you had Roseanne, you had A Life with Louie, R.I.P. Louis Anderson recently. This was Bruce Willis saying, I want a cartoon. He's like, if Bobby's World could do it, I could do it. And if you have watched Saturday Morning All-Star Hits, I almost said Saturday Morning Cartoons, on Netflix, fantastic series if you have not watched it. They basically parody this with a guy who is essentially Bruce Willis coming on to promote his new Saturday morning cartoon. But when Jason found this for me, I was super excited. Oh, and Bruno, for those who don't remember, is Bruce Willis's like alter ego. I have also the Return of Bruno live concert tape, so this is going to be a great pairing to go together. Speaking of obscure animation based on real life people, a Siegfried and Roy cartoon, this adventure cartoon. What is this? Masters of the Impossible. That's right. Now, you might recall, I think it was Father of the Pride. It was a CGI sitcom that followed Siegfried and Roy tangentially, but this one, they were the heroes. That's a piece of history right there, too. It's just so fantastic. All right. Check this out. Now, this was actually featured on our thrift store hoard. This is something that Jason found. This is a very unique rental box. This was part of a group called Errol's, if you can see that here. It's the Errol's Video Club, right? And so if you look at the way this comes out, you can also see it on the thrift store hoard video, but it comes out of the top, which is so cool. Like, that is just, I have never seen a box like this. It's got foam padding on the insides to make it, again, do I care about Clint Eastwood and Heartbreak Ridge? Not really. Do I care about the uniqueness of this box and just the design idea of it? I absolutely do. All right. Okay, so moving out of VHS, okay? Another thing that I am big into are the disc style, not DVD, the big disc style, types of home media. Jason found this for me recently. I'm a huge fan of Hook. I got it on Blu-ray, I got it on a DVD, I got it on VHS. But this is now the LaserDisc. And of course, we just had the 30th anniversary of Hook, which was a big deal. But look at this. It's a gatefold. Can you believe that? I mean, it gives you so much information in here, but it's just so weird. Like, why would you do a gatefold? Why does it have to be 2 discs? Is it that long? I guess it is. If you want to hear me really wax nostalgic about Hook, I'm sorry for all these plugs, but my buddy Michael and his pal Pete, they have a show on the Retro Network. It's called Box Office 30, where they cover the movies that month from 30 years ago, and they covered Hook. Michael was not a fan, Pete and I were, so we're just like waxing nostalgic about it, so that would be something to check out. But more than LaserDisc, because I haven't gone whole hog in LaserDisc, but I have invested quite a bit in CED VideoDisc. Okay, these are RCA, Selectavision, video discs, sometimes it's CED branded. These are very special. This is a disc comes out of the top of here into the player. I have two of them, these vintage players. And this Mighty Mouse one, although it was water damage, was just so beautiful. I couldn't bear to have him leave it there when Jason texted me about this. I mean, just look at that graphic of Mighty Mouse. Here I come to save the day. I'm also a big Andy Kaufman fan, and if you know Andy Kaufman, that was a big part of how he got famous being on Saturday Night Live. So, anyway, the last thing here I'm going to give to you as a preview, as a tease. This is all wrapped up here. You can hear the crinkling. It's like opening things up on Saturday, Christmas morning on Saturday morning. I'd like to be opening things up on Saturday morning as well. Okay. This is funny. This is, throw it in the mix. These are Indian in the Cupboard movie Pogs. Jason is the second person who has sent me a collection of Indian in the Cupboard. You know, maybe you just don't want to have the association anymore with this book, right? That might be it with this movie. But anyway, so I just thought that was funny. Like, I now have a lot of Indian in the Cupboard Pogs. But check this out. So I am also part on the TRN network, very involved there, as you can tell, with a series called Wax Pack Flashback, where we open up old packs of trading cards. Super fun, like just the nostalgia of that. You remember the excitement as a kid. So Jason has sent me a bunch here that we'll be opening in the future. And for watching my video, you're going to get a preview, okay? So first up here, Defective Comics trading cards, okay? So these are basically like mocking standard trading cards. So that's trading cards based on comic books. I'm assuming much like Wacky Packages, where they made fun of the packaging of, like, you know, Pampers diapers and changed the name. They're doing that with comic book titles. This is Batman's Saga of the Dark Knight trading cards, okay? So Batman was not included in a lot of DC comics where they would do their whole universe because he was always a separate license. So that was one of the series that came out during that time. This, I have no idea. 30 Years of Magic Greg Hildebrandt cards, too. There were two series. Greg and Tim Hildebrandt did a series for Marvel called Marvel Masterpieces where they painted all the characters. So I just thought that was cool that he's sending me those. Now this is very exciting. We have a running gag on my Wizards podcast that you have to put $1 in the jar every time you say the name Rob Liefeld. Well, we're the 30th anniversary year of Image. He created Youngblood, which was the first Image comic. So I've got 3 packs of that here to open. Oh, that's going to be an adventure. Finally, another Valiant and Image Comics crossover here, Deathmate. So if you're reading comics, you know, in 1993, you know about Deathmate cards. There are actually 2 different series. I think one was by Topps and one was by Upper Deck. Which one are these? These are... I don't see the Upper Deck logo, so this must be somebody else. Let's see. Sorry, I'm looking away here, but... Oh, Pyramid, that's who it was. Yeah, so Pyramid was Upper Deck, but it was like a separate brand, you know, a different branch of Upper Deck. But wasn't that awesome? I'm just looking around here like, did I drop anything? I mean, so much awesome stuff in that box. Jason, I can't thank you enough for packing it all up and getting it out my way. This is what we do for each other. Retro, you know, enthusiasts, we support each other's hobbies, you know, and we're helping each other out in the things we appreciate most. So I appreciate you for checking out this video and taking a look at the fun stuff that I have. Now I gotta find a place for it all. I'm kind of running out of space, as you can see, but I'm sure I will find a superb spot for it. There's no doubt about that. So thank you so much. If you want to find out more about what I collect and see it, you can find me at Hoju Coolander on Twitter. That's HOJUKOOLANDER. Sorry, that's a mouthful. Of course, you can check out all the podcasts and everything I'm involved in over on the Retro Network. Just go to theretronetwork.com or follow at TRN Social on Twitter and Instagram, and then you'll be able to find out all the different shows that are involved there that they're putting out. There's so much coming out every week. If you love the old days, you will love this. So thanks for checking out the video, and I'll check you later.